So for the past few weeks, the speakdoms I've done have been about kind of trying to survive in this, pandemic and the quarantine, COVID-19 world that we live in. And I've been trying to kind of reassure people that, things are going to get better. Like, this is only a temporary thing. We won't be like this forever. It could adversely change the world, but I don't think we're going to be stuck indoors forever. We will retain our humanity to socialize again in the future. But I want to change things up a little bit with this speakdom and instead talk about something that's going to be a bit more applicable long-term in life as opposed to short-term. Those speakdoms are going to be short-term stuff, even though there's still knowledge there that I think could work for long-term situations. For this one, I want to get more long-term, and that is the psychology of success. And there was a quote that Tony Robbins, I think it was Tony Robbins, had this quote, and it kind of inspired the speakdom. And the quote was, "Success is 80% psychological, 20% mechanical." And that really kind of stuck in my head when I heard it recently. And I was like, wow, there's something to that. Now, first of all, and I've talked about this before, what is success? Well, every person's measure of success is different. Everyone wants something different out of life. You might want to get married and have children. You might not want that. You might want to travel the world. You might want to be famous. You might just want to make money. You might want to travel to a specific place. You might want to do a combination of all those things. Usually most humans have a little bit of everything from the buffet table of life. You want to have a good girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever you're into. You want to have a good job, and you want to have your health, which I think is the thing that I think almost everybody wants. No matter what your religion is, your political beliefs, we all want to be healthy at the very least and not be suffering or be in pain. And sometimes though, life will throw you a right hook and you don't see it coming, and down you go, and you got to get back up again. You know what I'm saying? I'm currently dealing with my own health issues right now, but as far as what the word success means to me, and I've talked about this before, YouTube and all this stuff is not really the true success to me, but what has come out of it has, and that is, having great friendships with people and meeting some wonderful people that I would have never met before if it wasn't for the internet, for YouTube. But also, what's been very successful for me is that I have done pretty well business-wise. I've gotten my business off the ground because of YouTube, and I've been able to successfully buy a home and have it paid off and buy a car. And these things are things that I value. As a person who was homeless at one time, having a home and having it be mine is a big deal. Not so much for everyone. Other people prefer to rent. Some prefer condominiums. Some, you have different ways of living. Some love to live with roommates and family. I personally, and that's, you can live anywhere with that. But I personally am just happy that I don't have to pay rent every month. I've still got bills to pay, obviously, property tax, HOA fees. Obviously I have things like, regular bills, electric, internet, things like that, insurance, all that stuff. But, besides all of that, the house is paid. And to me, that was a big accomplishment. Now, the main thing about success and what made me such a driven person to achieve this is that I was afraid of being homeless. That's what drove me. So sort of my PTSD kind of pushed me to that. It was a big factor, I will admit that. But a lot of it is mental. A lot of it is psychological. And what Tony Robbins is talking about, if that was him who had that quote, was, if you believe that and I want you to really, really hear what I have to say about this, because this is going to be the important part. If you truly believe that you are a person of value, which, you should believe, and if you don't currently believe it, as I've said before, write down 5 things you like about yourself and then 5 things that you wish you could improve, and then work on those 5 things, but also read the 5 things that you like to kind of remind you of who you are. It's not egotistical. It's not prideful. It's you acknowledging your worth as a person and your value to the world. So if you believe that you are somebody who deserves to be successful, whether it be successful in relationships, whether it be successful in, dating, whether it be which kind of is relationships, be successful as in being a good friend, or even financial success, or some kind of critical or, some kind of acclaim. If you are an athlete and you want to win a championship, whatever sport you like, if you are able to truly know that you deserve this, that's half the battle won. But actually, it's 80% of the battle, because you are going to need something to pull from when times get tough. You are going to need something to pull from inside of your heart. It's deep inside of your heart to pull from and to grab onto to achieve what it is that you need to do that's going to make you better and more of a harder worker than other people in the same place as you. Because everyone's different and everyone has different goals. And the guy next to you who you see as a competitor, he may not really be as competitive as you think, or maybe he's more competitive. Maybe you're not as competitive when it comes to what you're trying to achieve against each other, if that makes sense. You know, obviously you have different things like team sports and different kinds of arts, you know, sciences, whatever, education, whatever you want to achieve. 80% of it is you realizing that you do deserve your success. You realizing that you do deserve what you work for. And when I say deserve, this is not that pussy ass modern, you know, what's the word? Entitlement. It's not people who just, because I'm here, I deserve this, which unfortunately that's how people are nowadays, especially young people on the internet. They think they deserve this. They think they deserve that when they haven't done anything to earn that. And that's because of the everyone gets a trophy mentality, which is complete trash. No, it's nonsense and it's not true. There have to be actual tiers to life. And even though one person might be successful in tier A, they may not be so successful in tier C, whereas the other person might be more successful in tier C than tier A. For example, a lot of really famous and well-respected musicians can't have a relationship. You might be one of those guys who wants to be married and have kids. These guys can't, because they're always on the road. They're always tempted to cheat. They sometimes do cheat. Sometimes they do drugs. Like, the lifestyle makes it difficult for them to have this as much as it would, or as, you know, more than it would be somebody else who has a regular 9-to-5 job. Because then if you have a regular 9-to-5 job, you can, you know, be at home, be with your wife, be with your kids, and kind of be that family man instead of being on the road, you know, and it puts a lot of pressure on your family life if you're on the road. But at the same time, if you're on the road, you're not only achieving your dreams, but you're also making a crap ton of money, most likely, you know, if you're successful at that level. So, you know, and it all depends on the balance of life. You know what I'm saying? But you have to have that mentality. You have to psychologically be there, or at least get yourself there. You might not be there yet, and that's fine, because let's be real. And this has actually been proven with numbers. Most people in their 20s are not ready yet. If you're listening to this and you're in your 20s and you are psychologically strong to where you can achieve your goals and dreams and you have a complete confidence in yourself, congratulations, you are in the minority. Most people in their 20s don't have that yet. It takes a little bit more than that. It takes going through your 20s and kind of suffering and understanding, not suffering forever, but, you know, temporarily going through struggles and roadblocks and overcoming them to really achieve that confidence, that psychological awareness that you deserve to be where you're at. Some of us, you know, get it younger, some get it older. I mean, you've always got prodigies, but understand that usually it happens sometime around your 30s, which is why Abraham Maslow discussed that most people who are alpha males, alpha females, don't even achieve that level until they're in their 30s or 40s. And so when I see a 16-year-old kid saying he's alpha, brother, you're not alpha. I mean, you're not. Because you have to, a certain series of events has to happen in your life, and certain events have to occur, and certain situations have to come upon you for you to overcome to achieve the level of self-actualization. You can't be in high school and be self-actualized, you know, unless you are a very special prodigy, but those are even more rare. People in their 20s having this psychology, that's rare. People in their teens, that's really rare. I mean, really, really rare. And you might think you do, and it could be your ego talking, you know. So I'm just here to tell you, though, that even if you're not, right, even if you're not there, that's okay, because if you're on the road to getting there, when you do get there, it'll feel that much better when you're there, you know. And a lot of it is psychological. The 20%, the mechanical is actually getting the work done and just letting it kind of come to you. You know what I mean? A lot of athletes and basketball players, football players, whatever you like, they train in the gym for hours and hours and hours. They practice for hours and hours and hours. But when they actually play the game, it's almost like second nature to them. You know what I mean? They have that instinct, that's why guys like in the NBA can pass, dribble, shoot so instinctually and so fast, because it's been wired into their circuitry from all the training. Repetition is the best way to become a master at something. And if you don't do that, it's very hard to become a master at it. So it's the same thing with whatever craft you're trying to perfect, work at it. And then when you get there, you'll be so psychologically confident that it will hit you. You know what I mean? It'll hit you and it will make you feel better about yourself. It'll make you feel more confident. And then you'll know that I'm right about this and that, Tim Robbins or Tony Robbins or whatever. I forget the guy's name, bro. Somebody sent it to me. Said about 80% psychological, 20% mechanical makes sense. Championships are won in the training, in the practice. Not all the time, of course, but many times they are. And so I feel like in life, when you actually get out there and work and actually get out there and achieve it, it's going to feel so much better when you're actually doing it. Preparation is the right thing to do. Preparation, repetition, but that's a different video, really. The main thing is, remember, success is 80% psychological. So keep your head up and keep moving. Thank you for watching this video. It means a lot to me, and I hope that it meant a lot to you. We'll talk soon.